All right, we're back in life again. So, good morning, everybody. Today, the sun is in the 53rd gate. And the 53rd gate is my gate. I'm a 53 as well. And we're going to start whole new things today. So, Ra had a little introduction in the book of Incarnation Crosses. And I'm going to read that to you right now to see what he said and how we're going to start something new. We love new and improved. Human beings love new and improved. And the moment that you move from the sixth tree and you enter into the 53rd, what you're getting is new. I don't know about improved. And new in only a certain sense. New in the sense of beginning. All the way up to this point, remember telling a story at many levels. We have seen a number of things in entering into the zone after the 50. We saw the necessity in the 52, the focus that was necessary. We saw that the focus isn't enough, that we need to provoke and prod. Because the collective solution is not enough. It won't be adhered to. We have to enforce it. Otherwise, we cannot develop the form. And we realize that because the form is fragile, and because we are mutative, we can keep on adapting and through adaptation enhance our potentials. And then we get to the 53. And the 53 says, stop talking and start doing something about it. All of this is very nice patterns, collective structures, the straw bosses that are going to push us, the individuals that are going to show us. But hey, as Allen Ginsberg said, I'm going to put my queer shoulder to the wheel. Let's put our shoulder to the wheel. That's what the 53 is all about. The 53 says, come on now, let's do it. So it's time to do things, time to get going. Okay, guys? There's nothing more revealing than to see a 53rd gate hanging by itself in somebody's chart. When you see a 53rd gate just hanging there by itself, it's the opposite of the 52. The 52 says be in jail. The 53 says be free. It's quite different. The 52 says stay very still. And if you stay very still, it's going to focus your consciousness. And the 53 says don't stand still for a moment, because if you stand still, you have to focus your consciousness. I won't focus my consciousness. I, all I want to do is do. All I want to do is be a human. I don't want to think about being human. I don't want to wonder about being human. I don't want to think about experiences. I don't want to wonder about experience. I don't want to do anything with them other than start. I want to start now. Oh, penetration. What shit they leave behind. They're really good at starting, but starting is only starting. It's only starting. It's only not continuing. It's not finishing. It's starting. I tell people with the 53, be a starter. Don't ever be a finisher. This is really good to jumpstart things in there. And if we see it in the cross dimension, terrific. When you see it personally, no, 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 no. In its cross dimension, it's obvious. We do have to get started. And the only way that the evolution works and mutation works is that we live the experiential life, that we enter into the human process, all the stuff that comes with it. And the moment you enter into the process, guess what? You can't wait for it to end. But we don't want to talk about that. I don't want to depress you. We wait until we get another part of the wheel, like the 54 on the other side that says, oh, thank God it's over. It's nearly done. That's the ambition for the end. I'm ambitious for heaven. I'm even ambitious for hell. Anything to get out of the wheel. The wheel starts here. I love that tarot picture of the wheel. All the creatures on the wheel. There's somebody down at the 53rd gate going, sound of grunting. Get it going, get it going. If you don't get this damn wheel going, nothing is going to happen. Mutation takes place because we are in the flow of the program as a whole. We have to get to certain places before mutations kick in. We call that time. I know that place, but nonetheless, we still have to get there. You have to get into the process. You have to get into the whole thing. You can't think about Rome when you're still living in a cave. You have to get out of the cave first. This is getting out of the cave. Rome is in the 42. It's a long walk, a long trek, lots of things to be learned along the way. This is one of the basic maternal principles. And that maternal principle is that you move the child towards going out into the world. You get them going, you give them life. The 5343 is the channel of the midwife. It's a channel of maturation. It's a channel of life coming into the world. It is, in essence, as a format, the frequency of being human. Logic is not the frequency of being human. Logic is the frequency of life forms, all life forms. But the format out of the 53, this is the only human frequency. This is pure humanness. And so when you get to the 53rd gate, what you're getting to is something to essentially to grasp. This is the yin ready to manifest. You can see that in the double yang on the top. It's really getting ready to stand out there. So then we get into the 1-3 profile, the right angle cross of penetration. So we begin with the 53-1 cross of penetration, 53, 54, 57, 51, all those 50s. Now penetration has to be understood. Somebody who's on the cross penetration has to be ability of being able to penetrate anything on the surface. The cross of penetration can never go deep, never. It isn't there to know the middle of the end, only the beginning. The true cross of penetrations is that if you're going to get out ice fishing, you bring one of these penetrators to cut the hole in the ice, but not to do the fishing, not to explore the depth. They shatter so fast. After all, I'm a mutation out of penetration. The left angle of penetration is the clarion, those two variations, so I understand it, but I don't have the 53 54. I traded it in for the 61 62. That's quite a different mix. And I know these penetrators, and I know how much they would love to be clarions, and they can never be clarions because they're penetrators. The only thing they're here to do is break through the surface. Nothing suits a 3 line better than a cross that says, let's have a new beginning. You can't imagine how penetrating a 1-3 can be. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. And if they're a male and they have a dick, 1-3 penetrators will penetrate anything, alive or dead, moving or stuck. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate. And nothing happens. It's just penetration. It's like getting a needle, but no goods. You put a needle, you you put a need in, you take it out, and you don't get anything. You just get the needle prick. You get the pain, nothing else. I'm going to cure your disease. Have a needle, but you don't put anything in. Hey, I only penetrate. What do you want from me? Somebody else has to fill to this hole. You have to understand what they're like. If you don't understand what they're like, you can forgive them in a real life. They're here to start things going. That's their magic. Their magic is that they can penetrate you, that they can give you a kick in the ass, they can get you going. They can even get themselves going for a few minutes until it wears off. These are beings that operates best on the surface. This is very, very superficial plane of the mundane and its forms. And there is their magic is wonderful. In the country of the blind, the one-eyed man is a king. In a world that lives on the surface, the penetrators seem profound. They get to penetrate the surface. The last person on earth that is willing to wake up is somebody on the cross of penetration. And when I say willing, I'm talking genetically. It's even risky for them because, after all, that's not what they're here for. They're just here to get it going. The 1-3s are great at this. They penetrate and penetrate and penetrate because they don't understand that that's what they're about. They assume they should go further. They assume it's their failure and they can't. They suffer because they can open the door, but they can never truly go in and stay there. And out of that comes a kind of pessimism that is sitting, a sense of recognizing truly the worst of what it is you see and covering it up by living on the surface by choice, in the sense of the not self. Then we get to the 1-4 profile. The 1-4 profile, anytime you take the values of the 4 line and you associate it with penetration, you know right away that you've got a very, very influential force. Please understand something about penetration. It's really valuable. It is something that is necessary in this chain that we've been looking at. But again, the way it works as a generalized frequency is so different than how it is lived out in somebody's individual design. How difficult it is to have somebody on the cross of penetration come into any kind of esoteric program to demands of them that they're supposed to go into the depth and whatever. It's not for them. And yet, it doesn't mean that they denied awakening. To awaken to your role on the cross of penetration is to understand that this is your gift. Get them going and then walk away. Crank them up and set them on the road. Hit that magic button and fire them up. Most penetrators take advantage of the gift one way or the other. And given the nature of the not self, we know that it can tend to be very manipulative because they can penetrate it so easy. Okay, so they're really penetrators and they're just penetrating something just like that. Choo. But not thinking about the thing that follow up. So good luck penetrating today, guys. Get lost in the weather and penetrate the shit out of it.